Hello and welcome back to the finishing line, proudly sponsored by Hollywood Bets and an extended talking points to do with Galway Festival
Good Galway.
and the Goodwood Festival.
Good Goodwood.
Two long festivals of many races, and
All races.
Galway is just too long. And
Class.
Tom was at Galway a couple
You
of
keep
days.
talking at lean across for a second.
Tom was at Galway a couple of days. Up at Galway, no runners, loads of losers.
Loads of champagne as well.
Had a box himself and Blogger in
Blogsy.
Ballybrit.
Shout out to Blogsy. Knew his finishing line, knew his friend.
Sent us a couple of pictures with
Thanks to Tom.
Stephen.
And asked us not to post them on social media, so we won't, Tom, don't worry.
And Blogger then went out in the town in Galway. Blogger went out in the town in Galway. Tom was too drunk. Sent us a picture of himself in the taxi.
Yeah.
Bladdered, lest I say.
One eye going that way,
Yeah.
one eye going that way.
Bladdered.
I went out in Clare Castle, which was a good
And
night
then,
out in fairness.
Blogger on Twitter the next day said his relationship with Guinness is over. So Tom and Blogger done the fucking dog on it on, I think it was, what day was it? Thursday?
Thursday night, I think. Thursday night.
Thursday,
It was Thursday.
They blogged it up, as they say.
Yeah. Tom is
Shout out
probably
to-
going to sell some shares in Pimlico horses to Stephen.
Stephen, the
No,
newest.
okay. I think he had a race in Syndicate once. I'm not kind of dropped off the face of the earth. Don't know what happened there. But shout out to Galway. It was a fantastic day out on Thursday. Really, really good.
Galway as a county or the race course?
As a county as well, I didn't see too much of outside of the racecourse, but it all looked very good. Stone walls, grass is green, that kind of vibe. But no, in the racecourse, very well put on. Loads of staff working. Very easy to get a drink. We did get a very good spot. Wasn't a box, but it was in the champagne bar on the balcony. View of the parade ring. Unbelievable.
That would definitely make it easy to get a drink if you didn't even have to fucking queue to get one.
And when your place
However-
is called the Champagne Bar.
I did venture down and around, and it was still very, very easy.
I went down to the common folk.
However, our first comment from Rodney Mackey, actually, Alex Ryan said, which pub in Clare Castle, Tom? That's my local.
Powers, Alex.
Sure, Alex can vouch that he was rocking it up with Blogsy right there and then.
Bladdered. So, Alex, you probably met Tom and you don't even remember.
Probably sold him a share in the Pimlico horse.
Rodney Mackey, Galway, probably
It's
the
good
worst
business.
festival to be need changes to make it better. I, for the life of me, can't. Right.
Here we go.
Do you know how I know Galway is a pile of shite?
Because you couldn't get a drink in a bar once. And that is
Like-
the honest God's honest truth.
Because the only person I know that made any money at Galway this week is Puddy. And Puddy backs Yaks.
I didn't make anything.
Backs absolute
Didn't make anything. go there.
33 to 1 Yaks. He backed the winner of the Galway Hurdle because he's been backing him since
Nearly
he was
done it.
about 16
We
because
backed
the
him a
horse
few
is
weeks
that
ago.
old.
We backed him at the Curragh.
He
The
backed
4 weeks ago,
another
that hurt me when he
40
crossed the
to
line.
1 winner somewhere along the way as well.
Henry's horse, that Gabby's
And you know what he said to me? Do you know what the key to Galway is? Puddy told me today because he was down training today.
back Yaks.
He said the key to Galway is back things that haven't been trying for lots of months and have Galway Festival form. So
Yeah, that worked for me on Saturday. Hello, Star. It's been the only one that worked all week.
I like Goodwood. The weather is nice.
No, you don't, because you're going to give it out about it
People
now.
are dressed up. But someone texted me and said it was £100 to get into Goodwood.
Ooh.
What?
And it was £10 a pint.
Wow.
I don't know if
That's
that's
so glorious now,
I
is
don't
it?
know if that's true. It's used to be Glorious Goodwood. It's now the Qatar Racing Goodwood Festival. So it's not Glorious Goodwood anymore.
Fucking expensive Goodwood is what it sounds like.
€35 to get into Galway. And this is going to sound awful, but not sure how much the point was because I was drinking bottles of champagne.
Yeah, let's not go there. But
€35, that is steep now when you consider the quality of the race that's
yeah,
on.
it's terrible. But
That's
if
not-
it's
35
£100
quid to get into that is fine.
It's 30 quid to get into the Dublin Racing Festival.
if it's £100 to get into the Qatar Racing Goodwood Festival, then I think the BHA straight away knows what their fucking problem is. We seem very dark today.
We are. My original camera is acting up, so we're using the laptop camera.
Oh, so there's a reason.
There's a reason.
Okay. I thought the brightness is down. Tom is very bright. We're very dark. If it's €100 to get into Glorious Goodwood, that is fucking scandalous.
No, hang on now. I'll clear this up for Goodwood. Adults from £25. So
Yeah, that's probably with your little picnic up on the hill away
Up
from
on the
people.
hill, you have to bring your own strawberries. But it was two. It was a good week of racing, 2 good festivals. If you like Galway, you like Galway. If
Was
you like
it
Goodwood,
though? Was it really that good?
I have,
Goodwood was shit.
to be honest, this is so far in all my years watching flat racing, I have no love for the flat this year. There's nothing that is enticing me. Aiden has no good horses. Let's be honest about it. They're all shite.
Kiprios,
No, he's no.
legend.
Baaeed is what he is, but like I can't like him like I like See the Stars or Frank.
Why can't you like him? Like
I just don't like him. I don't
he
really
just
like.
does what he wants, how he wants, and in the pace he wants.
There's nothing sexy about him.
So yeah, you hate Yaks and then you hate Baaeed. Like
He's a hard man to please, Tom.
No, like he's never going to lose, and he's just doing what he does. But like, there's no it factor. Frankel had it all, like really did. And See the Stars was just See the Stars was just a little easier because he just went like he'd win by a length and do it on board.
Joe was with Frankel. Frankel had you kind of in your head, Jesus Christ, this fella goes off bonkers down in front. He could get beat. You can't see Baaeed getting beat.
I watched.
You can put Baaeed anywhere.
You had the Tom Queedy factor now with Frankel as well, which always gave you
a few variables thrown in there. Like, ooh, could get beat.
I watched a replay of Frankel's Judgment when he first stepped up to a mile 2 this morning against St. Nicholas Abbey, and
that was a good
good Alpha horse, and it's just unbelievable.
Drugged up.
Just like a rocket. I agree with Key Buckley. Vidani is greater than Baaeed. I like Vidani.
What?
Yeah, I like Vidani. I like the French horse.
He's better than Baaeed.
I don't know if he's better, but like
all right, there, Kevin Blake.
There's something nicer about him.
Fuck me.
Something nicer about him.
Kevin Blake saying Baaeed. Stop now. Not getting into it.
Baaeed, he's very good, but I just.
Andrew, is Dave the Watford Kevin Blake?
Yeah, you're the French. You're the Watford. Deja Kevin Blake.
No, Kevin Blake's. What did he say? He's just a miler. He'll get bet, did he?
He'll get bet going up to mile 2 or something. I just want to take him on next time. Something along those lines.
I point blank refuse to watch ITV racing, so I never hear. Yeah, racing UK is not all that much better, but it's better than ITV racing.
Racing TV is only good when Nick Luck and
you're gonna have to sit there and listen to
Thomas Misses is on
fake Andrew Halligan, Ed Chamberlain himself, and talking his shit.
Oh, you're that baldy fella that just never makes sense.
Luke Harvey.
No, he's a twat.
I'm probably a twat as well. Anyway, we will go through Goodwood first. Or do you want to go Galway first?
I couldn't give a shit.
We'll go through Goodwood first. Touch on the races, the group races that we talked about in the preview. Then we'll just flick through the results of Galway, and we're not going through them all because there's 7 days of muck racing, and we could be here till 31st of August.
Gonna hate Dave.
Tom, you done your balls up in Galway, so you should be hating it too.
On Thursday I did. I'm just going back through some of the results now, and I'm like, the one on Thursday for me, lads, Libby. Oh my god.
What's that?
10-1, finished third, should have won an absolute minute. That was sick.
What's that? What's the one they unexpected?
Unanswered, is it?
Unanswered.
Tom's nap.
Bet twice a week.
Tom's nap was bet twice in 1 week and was a non-runner. That is a quiz question. If ever I have, that's a quiz. That's a quiz question.
It's a Tom House.
That's a quiz question.
That wasn't fun, man. You should have won on a Wednesday as well.
So we go to Tuesday at Goodwood first. We talked about the Vintage Stakes, the Lennox Stakes, and then the Goodwood Cup. The Vintage was won by Marban, Charlie Fellows, typical Jamie Spencer ride. The horse that won the Chesham Holloway Boy was second.
Typical Jamie Spencer ride. Shit one. I won.
And Mysterious Night, I think Tom likes this horse, the Godolphin horse, was third. How are we feeling about the Vintage Stakes? I personally thought it was a bag of shit.
Yeah, I concur.
Tom?
Like a shite index.
Yeah, it wasn't great now, to be honest.
Okay,
It was a good winner, though, in fairness. Now.
Yeah, yeah.
I say the winner squad is classic 2-year-olds. Like he's rated 89 winning that. Like, you know, like he shouldn't.
Hollow Bay now, he's not going to be bad either now. That was
No,
only his
no,
second run.
no.
And he's still learning on the job.
A lot of the other horses left the session form down, but he done his bit for it.
If you took the winner's rating, he shouldn't have had a chance of winning that kind of race. Mysterious Night, I don't think is the full package, but he's probably just below top class. And then Holloway Bay, I thought travelled very well. Was probably the one to take out, but for me, that's only his second run. I think he'd be the best horse out of the ones there.
A lot of the races are good over the week. You couldn't be up at the pace and win. So Jamie Spencer was the horse, and the ride he gave it just fell into his lap. I think he's in the right position. A lot of Will Buick's rides that he won on were kind of out the back, away from the pace. Very hard to win front running there last week. So we move on to the Lennox Stakes, the Group 2 for the older horses. It keeps popping in. It must be the internet. And Andrew Balling, Sandrine, won. Kinross, I think, who won the race last year, was second. And Pogo, who just seems to be a better horse this year, was third. Andrew and Tom had Sacred. I don't know what to make Sacred anymore. She just has a habit of not doing it when you expect it.
I expect her to win, to be honest. It's just another race that was kind of typical of the week.
I had a little small bet on Sandrine.
Of course you did. Who'd you put up?
Sir Dancelot. I had a bet on him as well. I had 2 bets each way.
See? Scammer.
After
Scammer.
Scamming is exactly what that is, Andrew.
I have to say, I like Sacred. I put her up for Royal Ascot, and 9-4 looked a big price. And I actually thought on the day she's probably the most likely winner. Everything's in her favour, but I thought she was poor. Tom's gone.
I'm not gone, am
I?
You're back. Tom, Sacred, disappointed.
Grenneman's in the system today.
Disappointed. Pogo, tough as old boots, kind of said he'd stay going, and he did, in fairness. But yeah, it's disappointed in Sacred. Other than that, not fantastic. Yeah, not a massively exciting race, to be honest.
Andrew?
Yeah. Next.
So the Group 1 on the Tuesday was the Al Shakab Goodwood Cup Stakes. And Kiprios, who is the laziest horse in training, I'd love seeing him over hurdles and maybe 3 mile hurdles or 3 mile chase. Be class, but he won't ever do that. Stradivarius ran an unbelievable race to be second. Trushan got to go ahead to run. The ground probably wasn't soft enough. Third, and Coltrane stepping up again from a listed race was fourth. Good race, very good race.
Great race. Probably the race
best race of the week, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was so much action for a flat race. The move Holly Doyle made to keep Stradivarius in was shithousery at its finest.
Mm-hmm.
Probably set him alight though too soon, but as you said, Kiprios is one lazy bastard. You can't see him being beat now for a long time over that trip. In them top race, he'd probably be beat at the start of the season and whatever. Yeah,
Aidan gave a good interview afterwards and said that he'll be better as he becomes a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old. So
yeah, but it's the way Ryan rode him. Ryan learned a lot from the Gold Cup, I think. Yeah. He rode him a lot more closer to the pace, kicked on a lot earlier. He just kept going.
He only picked up his whip when, I think it was like the last half furlong, when he needed a little bit more. So he knew there was more in the horse, even though he was being proper rode along for the while. But very good horse.
Next Yates.
Tom?
Yeah, we kind of said, didn't we, about Kiprios and going into Royal Ascot, maybe it was a change in the guard, and I think it has been. You know, Stradivarius is 8, and he's taken on a 4-year-old who hasn't had much racing at all. So fantastic run at him. Fair play to the owners. They said, like, you know, we're not going to retire him on the back of getting beaten in the neck in probably, I think, the best staying race run this year or last year. You know, I think we had all of the big ones there, didn't we? So, yeah, I thought that was a fantastic race. Trushan ran his race, probably needs it softer, but in reality, he's probably not going to get it that much softer, is he? Unless it really turns up bottomless somewhere. So, ran a game race. And then we get to the horse. Can I tell my story?
You might as well.
That's all.
How would you forget this? Like, you two are genuinely meant to be my mates. I text you like massive news, and you're like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He still don't know.
The pictures you sent in.
The pictures are sent in. Yeah, right. So, guys, the viewers are going to listen. You might as well pretend like you're finding out at the same time as the viewers now. So, about 3 hours before Coltrane ran in, gobshites, the two. I'm telling you, about 3 hours between.
Are you sure you didn't tell Blogger now, and you didn't tell us?
I think you could have told Bloggers. I don't remember this.
I'm not even going to.
It's so easy to find up.
I got there excited by Coltrane, basically, right? So he travelled very well, and I thought he ran a crack of a race. He's massively on the improve. But about 3 hours before that race, there was a claimer at Compiègne, and who ran in it? Only Coltrane's half brother, a 3-year-old by Highland Reel, having a second ever start, and he finished second in a 1 mile 4 claimer. And who claimed him? We did.
Blogger.
Boom, boom. Definitely not Blogger. So we now have a 3-year-old half brother called Train, which we are looking at syndicating. We have an option to syndicate, but it needs to happen quick, or else he will be sold. So we'll see what happens there. But if you are interested, get in touch. He's not very dear. So he's on our website as far as I know. And if you want any more information, give me a shout. But he's obviously got an epic pedigree. Only his second run of his life. He was 4th first time and then second. Really good looking horse. Looks like he stays. And whatever he does, he's going to be a lot of fun.
I remember it now. He said it wins the champion hurdle in about 3 years.
He did.
I'd go more juvenile. He's going to be a juvenile hurdle, lads. It's only 3. He's going to be class now, I'd say.
He said, don't tell anybody, but he's going to get a mark and we're going to hold him back and then he's going to win the Fred Winter. Disclaimer.
Quote, unquote.
Disclaimer.
Anyway,
Tom never said that.
That possibly was said while Tom was bladdered drunk.
Lads, I got
or
this thing.
It might be a lie.
Could be a lie.
It could be a lie.
Could be a lie.
We go on to where I was going to ask Tom for a story at the end of the podcast, but he's told everybody now, so that has ruined.
You didn't think you'd do it when we got onto his half brother running really well in the Grade 1, though, or a Group 1.
Selling points.
Yeah, selling points. Tom's corner is now in the
selling
middle of the
points
show.
by Tom.
We go on to Wednesday at Goodwood. The 225, the Whispering Angel Oak Tree Stakes, and a good winner for me and Andrew. Oscula done the business, tipped up at 8-1, and she came in at 130 favourite. 66 to 1 shot in second, and Samaram in third. Good winner.
Great little mare, isn't she?
Yeah, she's very tough, yeah.
Only ran on the Saturday and ran again on the, what day was it? Wednesday?
She had to run about 5 times in 2 weeks.
The fact that William Buick was jocked up on her and there was a Godolphin horse in it kind of told its own story. Back throughout the day, I think it opened up at 8, backed into 6, 92, went off at 4.
130.
130. Kind of done a lot wrong in the race. Pulled for majority of the race. Ballsy run up the rail. Battle hardened. Head down. Thank you very much. Done it well. Good mare. Nice to see where she go next.
Tom?
Yeah, I honestly, when I went through that race before we tipped in it, I just presumed she wouldn't run because she'd ran on the Saturday. So fair play to George Bowie for getting her out. She is, I text you straight afterwards, that she is so tough, like insanely tough. She's had, 6 runs now this season. And that was only on the back of a 97-day break because she'd been over to Saudi Arabia, isn't it? So she's run then to racing post ratings of 103, 102, 102, 102, 105, 107. Like, you do not get more consistent than that. She's won twice. She's been second 3 times, and third once. Like, she is so hardy. And she's a lovely, lovely, lovely filly. She's run 17 times now. 6 thirds, 3 seconds, and 5 wins. Like, that's just class, really, isn't it? So she's giving her owners a lot of fun.
Good filly.
Fun you can get with Pimlico. See, that's how you sell it.
Yeah.
3 o'clock on Wednesday, it was the Morecambe Stakes, the Group 3 for the 2-year-olds. And another very good filly, a fast filly, Trillium, who myself and Andrew liked but didn't tip up because we probably didn't think she was good enough to win this.
It's hard.
Rocket Rodney, Evan's favourite, was second, and Wallbank was third. I had a feeling Rocket Rodney would get beaten. Didn't know who would beat him, but I just don't like.
Put into the race way too early.
Don't like backing 2-year-olds at that price. But Trillium, very good winner. Very fast.
Very fast. She is very fast. It's very fast. Whatever the hell it is. Done it really well. Came from off the pace, which I thought Rocket Rodney would have done. But I was really baffled why he was put into the race so early. All his runs have been held up, come true. Look, small field, you do what you have to do. You're dealt the cards. Even if he was held up, I don't think he would have beat her.
Yeah, she was very good.
She's very good. A horse going places. We talked about her last week, not the week before, whenever it was, that her maiden win was ultra impressive. She's on the up. Definitely keep on the right side of her.
Tom?
Yeah, she was class. I'd say nearly the performance of the week for me, Trillium. She the right horses then in behind her. Rocket Rodney second, Wallbank third, Eddie's Boy fourth. It's not like, you've got a load of the 50, 60, 6-1 shots finishing second and you're questioning the form. I think the form of that is really solid. And I know she's a 2-year-old. I know it's hard to say, but they train on, but they improve. But she's class. I don't know where they'd go next with her or whatever, but I think, was there talk of the Breeders' Cup?
No idea.
Or was that somebody else? Could have been told. I know someone was talking about the Breeders' Cup.
I imagine she'll be Cheveley Park bound at the end of the year.
You mentioned his name.
And on to Baaeed, the Sussex Stakes Group 1 on over a mile on the Wednesday. And Valverde said it kind of better than I could. Baaeed is very good, but just boring. And Frankel was exciting every time. Yeah, like I like Baaeed, and you just know he's going to win, but there's just nothing that grips you about him. He doesn't have it.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't.
I think it's because he just give you any kind of scare that he's going to lose. He Frankel trots along in the middle, gets pulled out, just goes and wins.
Frankel done stuff wrong, and like Tom said, Tom Queally was probably a negative as well. So there was lots of things that could go wrong, and they never did. See the Stars, I love too, because he kind of dicked around a little bit, and there was so many times you're like, oh, he's going to get beaten, and then he wins. You're like, he was never going to get beaten. Never. So, Baaeed is just like, oh yeah, he won again.
He's like, I'm the best, I know I'm the best, and I'm going to show you why I'm the best.
Yeah.
Frank was going to go, ooh, what will I do today? See the Stars was, oh, do I have to win? Fine, I'll win.
Yeah, like Frankel could go so fast that Tom Queally nearly fell off a few times. Like.
Yeah.
Tom, what do you think of Baaeed?
Just getting legged up.
Yeah, look, Frankel had that. I know what you're trying to say. Frankel had that edge that, like he was half a fucking furlong clear in the guineas at the bushes, wherever the bushes are. But, this lad doesn't do that. He just goes out there and is now putting in very professional performances and winning. I don't think an extra 2 furlongs will make a blind bit of difference to this lad. A different story if they decide to go with mile 4, but they won't because they don't need to. I mean, he's won 5 Group 1s on the bounce now, and he's looked very, very good in doing so in all of them. Panis Pearwood got within a neck of him last year, and that was, he'd had 6 runs then at that stage, and he'd only made his debut on the 7th of June. So he'd every right to be a little bit tired come towards the end of that run. But this year he's just been fantastic. I can't see him getting beat, to be honest. And he is a superstar, though. I don't know what we've got to run against him that would come anywhere close to beating him. So.
Yep, fair
Not
enough.
much.
On to Thursday, and the first one was the Group 2 Richmond Stakes, won by Royal Scotsman. Frank and the Coventry Stakes form again. Very nice colt for Paul and Oliver Cole, one of these double trainers, father and sons.
Paul Cole.
It's a nice performance. Straight through the gap, grab the rail, off he goes.
Typical flat race.
Tom?
More or less.
I was drunk at that stage. I didn't see it.
Yes, Tom.
Tom was drunk. The Gordon Stakes, usually a trial for the St. Ledger. The horse that Andrew likes, the Godolphin horse, is a big fat yoke. New London, 1-6-4 favourite, given a good ride by Will Buick, who was unreal all week.
Oh, imagine.
Dova Legend, a horse that keeps running well, was second. And Huya Mal, who I think is being sold and will eventually piss off to Japan or somewhere.
Australia, I think, to Gay Wardhouse.
There you go. Very small horse as well. Did you see him? He's tiny.
No, New London's just massive.
No, he's very small. I guarantee he'll win one of those Cox
What?
plates or one of them
What
fucking
the
things.
hell
Anyway,
is that?
He's very long and weird looking. But yeah, New London.
I could elaborate on that.
Yeah,
but
let's keep going.
I won't.
Let's keep going.
Long and weird looking. Anyway,
New London.
St. Ledger winner.
Tom, drunk.
Drunk.
Okay.
He's a big galloping bastard.
He probably is a St. Ledger horse, but he'll end up useless then. If they win a St. Ledger, they're crap.
Who cares? Like, we'll get our money and...
Yeah, sure, look.
Well, there's nothing else really. Well, there is a few things there, but he's just improving. The further he goes, the better he goes. Just a big lazy yoke.
Yeah, he's one speed slow and he just keeps going.
Yeah, and I think a bit of softer ground won't do many harm.
Probably, yeah. We're supposed to be in the pub watching the Ledger. We usually go every year, but both of you will probably cancel anyway.
No, when have I ever cancelled St. Ledger?
Anyway,
when?
The Nassau
Never.
Stakes.
I turn up.
Group 1 was the main race on a Thursday. A mile 2 for the fillies. And Nashua 6-5-1. It was a race that was kind of there for her. There was no real other decent horses in it or her level.
Could not believe the price she went off.
But she drifted all morning. It looked a bit dodgy, but she did what she should have done. I think she's won 2 substandard Group 1s now. The one in France is poor enough, so see you later in the year. But if she takes on a good horse and she's favourite, I'll be taking her on.
I thought she won very well now, considering that the pace she showed, and probably when the pace is picking up to go from where she was to hitting the front.
She's a nice horse, but
she's a good horse.
It was a bad race for her.
She's a good horse.
For the Nassau
I couldn't believe
Stakes.
that. Again, I genuinely couldn't believe she went out to nearly 6-4 at one stage, and she was what, really sharp odds on at one stage when we were previewing it.
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
she was about 8-11 when we were previewing it, if not 8-13, I think. I saw this. They showed it on the big screen at Galway, so I saw this one. And yeah, I thought she was very good. As you guys were saying, don't know what the form is going to stack up to be. But she was by far the best of these. And yeah, I don't know how she went off 6-5. I thought she was an odds-on shot. I was very disappointed in Concert Hall. I backed her at 14s after I put her up on the tipping show, and that was very disappointing. So that was a shame. When that went off 11-2, I thought I definitely got the each way value, but not to be. But Nashua was a good price in fairness.
Yeah, I don't know what to make Concert Hall, Tom, because she wasn't far behind Nashua in the Oaks, and she's ran bad.
Somewhere.
On to Friday and the King George Qatar Stakes, the Group 2 older horses, 5 furlong sprint down the hill that Patash used to win. And Charles Hill's won it again. Cadem has finally put 2 runs together. One earlier in the season, wins here. Rassel, who's done a favour for a few of us in the podcast a couple of times this year, was second. Katura was third. I don't know what happened to Baaeed, because on Rassel's form he should have been right there, but he was nowhere to be seen. And Lazaloy, I thought, ran well, who's been around for a good few years as a sprinter. He's only 5-year-old. He seems like he's around forever. Tom, did you see this one? Or were you drunk Friday too?
No, I saw this one. This was before I went out to the pub on Friday, so I did see this. Yeah, Carden was good in fairness, wasn't he? He's kind of looks like he's clicked a little bit. The one to take out of it was Russell, though. I know he's got beat, but he's definitely still improving. Came from a bit of a way back and ran all the way to the line. He's always kind of run over 5 furlongs. I wonder, would they go up to 6? Or would they just keep him in a very strongly run 5? But yeah, I think he deserves a cracker at Group 1 now. I think. I don't think he'll be shown up at that level of race anyway. And yeah, Baaeed, it just says David Egan said the colt was never travelling, so I just don't think he ran his race. Just put a line through it and look for the next one with him.
Andrew?
Yeah, look, Cadam won well. I think you run this race another 10 times. You could have 10 different winners
easily.
I won't make much of the form. Russell, look, he's obviously the one on the improve. Jesus. As Tom said, look, he'd probably step up in class next time. Baaeed, I think I said he didn't travel, but I think when he went to make a challenge, he was brought out wide the whole time. It's never a straight line he was running. So you probably write that off altogether. But the rest from much of a muchness, really. Lazuli, that's kind of his level, really, isn't it? If the blinkers work again on Cadam, he could go forward again. Top 2 probably the ones to concentrate on. Yeah, look, again, run it 10 times, 10 different winners. Even though there's about 6 in it. 11.
Yeah, it was much
of a typical sprint.
It was much of a muchness. There's a filly called Royal Acclaim, 5 furlong filly, and a lot of these will go to the Nunthorpe, and I think she will absolutely destroy all of them. She's only 3 runs in her life. James Tate trains her. Royal Acclaim is her name. She absolutely battered the field at York the last day. Winter Power was in it. Yeah. I'm sure she's going for the Nunthorpe, and she looks way better than any of the other 5 furlong sprinters at the moment. On to the Saturday, the last 2 we'll touch on. For Goodwood, Tom's horse, Emily Dickinson, is simply put a yak. She just doesn't want to win. She just doesn't want to win.
Oh, she's a hanging.
She doesn't want to win. People are making excuses. Ryan was too far back. She was good enough. She would have won because she made up the ground and then she hung in behind Celia Rosa and Urban Artist, and she didn't want to go past them. And she seems to do something wrong all the time, and you eventually run out of excuses. To me, she seems like she's ungenuine.
Yeah, look, I backed her on the day. Look, I think Ryan was going as quick as he could. I don't think he could have been any closer because you could see him squeezing her to try to keep the revs up the whole way. I do think she's a hanging little fucker, if I'm honest. She came on the outside. Ryan brought her on the outside, and she eventually found herself bringing herself in. You can see Ryan trying to keep putting her out, but she kept hanging in behind horses. There's something about her, unless she needs a pair of cheek pieces or whatever. I won't be going near her again. Urban Artist ran one a hell of a race to still finish second. He went off like the clappers. Yeah. Or she did. And was only beaten a neck. Tom Arcrange, Sealer, also a great ride, right place. It's always going to look good when you get up on the line. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a race that you hard to handle on because he went off so quick in front. I don't know what to make of it. I'll see it also obviously good. That farm has been franked with Magical Goon, winning the Irish Oaks. Emily Dixon now. I'd be interested now. She'd get a bit of headgear, a bit of cheek pieces now or something now. She might keep her straight.
Tom, what do you think of Emily Dickinson?
Yeah, I think mildly harsh. I think she was going as fast as she could. I think that was definitely true. I think Ryan wanted to be closer. I just don't think he could. I think she was flat out. I don't know, was she getting tired then by the time she was hanging in? I don't know. I don't think she's completely ungenuine. I do 100% think you'll see her in a set of cheap pizzas next time. And if she did the same again or something like that, then fine, I'd leave her alone. She's definitely a talented filly. She's just very, very, very slow.
She just reminds me of a female version of Wordsworth. And the Stewards Cup, 6 furlong handicap, and if you got the winner, this fair play because all the fancied horses were drawn on one side, all the paces on the other side. Everybody said decided the fanciest horses would win, and it completely went the opposite way. And Comanche Falls won at 25-1. We all put up Summering Hand, and he will win if he gets a clear run next time. 100%.
Well, there's not much to say about this, is there?
That was a mad
it was like
Sunday's crazy handicaps.
A 6 furlong bumper cars race.
Yeah.
Speaking of bumper cars, we're totally off subject. While it's in my head, anybody watched that race? We were watching it, not together, but the one where the goose flew into the
See
side
that today,
horse.
Tom?
It was a goose or a duck.
It was a pheasant.
Flying. Pheasant, was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
The horses went off and the pheasant flew right into one.
Right in the side of it. Fantastic.
All I saw today is that fecking natural look again.
Who?
Oh my day.
Yeah.
Nearly gets brought down this time and still nearly wins. So
Let's touch that Platinum Queen.
Very good, yeah. Very fast filly as well.
Fast bastard.
Very fast filly.
And that Crystal Caprice. The
Sir Michael Stout colour.
Crystal Ocean colours.
Crystal Ocean colours.
Wow.
Yeah, very good.
That passed the eye test. That's what we're going to.
Just what you were saying, though, lads. I'd say Summergan will get dropped another pound or two now for that run as well.
Absolutely. He
went up the arse of everything.
He's primed to win a big race, and we're going to get 10-1 or something like that.
Oh, we get bigger.
I reckon it'll be at York and one of the mad sprints at York.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout at all.
He acts well as
he was on the wrong side and then got no run when the groups merged together. So
does well at Newmarket, don't he?
Asher, he runs well everywhere, to be honest.
Legend.
We'll touch on Galway, just the big races, and then if the lads want to go back and touch on some of the other horses that might have caught their eye, because I know there was a couple of nice performances.
There's going to be no nice performances that are going to do anything throughout the season that run a Galway.
I thought Willie Mullins' horse in the Appreciate Colours was very...
That's I take that back.
That was very nice.
Very good.
But Tuesday, the main race was won by Magic Jagaga. Casanova was second, who later went on to win during the week, which happened a lot during the week. Horses run a couple of times. The Galway on Wednesday in the big chase, Hewick won, who was after Shark Hanlon's after turning that horse inside out. 3 or 4 big wins since the Shark took over. Durasso, who was like, he's just an unreal horse because he runs the same level every single race, and if you beat him, you know you put up a good performance because he's a 150 horse and he runs to 150 or 149 every single time.
You look up consistency in the dictionary and there's a picture of him next to him.
Every single time, whether it's over hurdles or fences.
Paddy Mullins finally won the amateur race.
Paddy Mullins won the amateur race on Monday on Echoes and Rain.
Dave, you've missed the one on Tuesday. Come on.
Unanswered, is it?
Tough. Tahira, half sister to Tanawa by Sayuni, goes and bolts up by 5.5 lengths on debut. Dermot Weld's only winner of the week.
Yeah,
he's not in very good form, and that goes and bolts up, and you're like, oh, it's all muck race and nothing to take out of it. I'd say she's an absolute aeroplane.
I did say I'd let you talk at the end, and you can put up the horses that she said. You know what I mean? Like I literally said that.
I wonder if they treat blogs are like this.
And yeah, he won't. He don't. Blogsar wouldn't take it from him.
Just rename them Blogsar.
It's better than Blogsy, isn't it?
Blogsar.
Oh, there's only 2 of us on here who had a picture taken with him, and whoever put up that tweet about Gavin Lynch and that picture is hilarious.
There's only one of us here that had a drink and a box and champagne with him. Fucking twice.
I was not with him. He was in my vicinity. The 2 of you, I don't know if I'm frozen, but the 2 of you are frozen.
Yeah. We'll catch you with him someday. Don't worry. That's where he went now. Remember the Dublin Racing Festival last not drinking? He went disappear for about an hour.
Down with
Blogsy. The box of Blogsy.
What did I call him?
Blogsy.
Blogsy, yeah, Blogsy.
Oh, lads, that's hilarious. I'm not sure if you were frozen, if I was frozen as well. I'll see if I can post this. Can I post this? Yeah, I can post this picture. The 2 of you are frozen and you're both like this. So funny.
You were frozen on our side. On the Thursday, surrounding won the Phillies listed race and the big hurdle won by Tudor City. I mean, Putty picked it. That tells you enough because 10-year-old. But
first 10-year-olds is 1940 something or 50 something to win it.
It's Galway after all. That's the day Tom lost a load of money.
And I did. Libby is the one to take out that 540, lads. She should have won an absolute minute. She's really well handicapped.
On the Friday, there was another big chase. Gabby's Cross won. Good result for Henry.
And Puddy.
And Puddy back to Gabby's Cross as well. That's true. Back to a 40-1. I thought Bustleton was a shoe-in, but didn't manage to do the business. Shunnock Ella won the big race. I thought Shanroe, I think you and Tom have put that horse up a couple of times over hurdles.
Yeah.
Done well to win a race on the Friday as well. On the Saturday,
Unanswered got beat again. Dave, do you want to throw that in there on the Friday?
No, that's okay. On the Saturday, there was a decent nursery. Pandora Lovegood won. I thought that was a good performance. And Excusio Joe won one of the bigger races of the day.
And my blog, new blog.
Andrew's.
I say a blog.
There was a big hurdle actually. Andrew put up Hallowed Star, who done the business. I think Rachel was on it.
Rachel was on it.
You put up Hallowed Starred though.
Huh?
You put up Hallowed Starred.
Yeah, yes. You spelled it wrong.
Because he starred. I knew he was going to star.
And on Sunday, Current Option won the big race for I think it's the third year in a row. Aidan McGuinness had about 78 runners of 80. And Battle Over Dog Shit done exactly what Battle Over Dog Shit does.
Yeah, loses.
He absolutely shit.
Looked like he was going, it's up. One politicized. Back politicized.
Poor fecker. I'd say he can't breathe to save his life, that was.
Politicized is another horse. That
same
horse
colours.
is a filly called
politicized is
it's season Aidan McGuinness colours.
Aidan McGuinness,
that horse.
He hit the front cruising. And I think Davey pushed him off the bridle. He went.
He has some form of horse asthma.
He's asthma.
Asthma. He's so shit. Like.
I'm trying to see. Where is it?
Jesus, lads, it was competitive up there to get a run up. Baron Wild was entered in 3 races, and I think we kind of knew our fate on the Thursday because he was entered for a 0 to 70 handicap on the Thursday. He's rated 63, and he didn't get into it. Every time you clicked on to see how many horses were getting in, it was like 4 or 5 were only getting into it after the initial 18, which is unheard of. So really, really competitive up there.
Jeez, we are very dark today, aren't we?
Yeah, it's very dark. Yeah, the ones I took out were the appreciated colours, the maiden hurdler.
Very good.
What was his name?
Go back and look at it.
I think it was on the Wednesday, was it?
Champ
Kiley.
Champ Kiley, that's
Champ Kiley. Because Joseph's horse was fairly well punted that day as well, Dawn Rising. Tom mentioned Turna was half sister by Sayuni. Unreal breeding. I like Sayuni as a sire. Only a 2-year-old first run, but Dermot Well can't buy a winner, and she bolted up. Now, what she beat, we don't know, but she looks decent enough.
She done it.
Turnawa, obviously, she's exceptional, and another sister then was rated 102 or something, so she should be quite a good horse. And Battle Over Dog Shit doing what he does best.
Getting sick going up a hill.
Take that now to Galway?
Yeah. That's over for another year. God.
Tom?
Why are you so hating on Galway, lads?
Tom loves Galway.
I'm messing. Galway was grand when you're sitting down having your dinner. There's nothing else on the telly.
Right, here you go. We'll go up one day next year, the 3 of us.
I'm not going.
Yeah, fine.
I told you I will never go back to that festival because I'm not
far away.
So far away, so overpriced for hotels.
Much as a hotel up there, about €500.
They put €1 on the point of every unit. It's just it's scandalous. Never go again. Never go again.
It never enticed me. Probably never will entice me.
You've loads of money. You loads of money. You won't come to Cheltenham in November. Your friend will be there as well. The Blogsy.
Blogsy be there.
You probably get a box with him. You can leave. You can wave at us from their box. We'll be down in the Commons.
We like mingling with the Commons. Yeah. Sure,
I just not even going there.
You go to Dublin now.
Valverde, I've read your comment. I agree with you. I'll be out if that happens as well. Just saying.
Putty over at Cheltenham will be back in every outsider, and at Law lose, and then Galway will come around next year again. And Putty make a fortune. He's got fucking New York with the winnings he made in Galway.
Tom, Altwasser has hit the nail on the head. You boys, and I'm taking myself out of this, Tom, is in you boys rate how good the racing is by how many winners you've backed. Probably not a subjective way to look at things, guys. I 100% agree.
I backed a few winners at Galway. It's the whole thing, the way it's built up. Like, I could literally go to Tramore and watch half them horses
That's
run.
literally a very false statement.
You go on Tramore and you see better horses. Excuse me, actually. You see Gold Cup winners out there. You see future Cheltenham Festival winners out there. You go up to Galway. The whole thing that puts me off it, we're in Waterford, right at the end of Ireland. Galway is a good 4.5, 5 hours away.
That's very Jesus Christ, it's about 3 and a bit hours away.
4 hours away. 4 hours away. 5 away, Dave drives.
Andrew's like, yeah, wind's blowing that way. It'll take us 5 today, lads.
It doesn't entice me for some reason.
It's a very false statement anyway, because like I'll sit down and watch. I was watching Windsor today without having a bet. I thought it was quite good. There was some good racing and all that. Galway as a festival as a whole, the racing is poor. The price of accommodation and food and drink up there is put up and is ridiculous because of the week that it is. It's too long. You know, people giving out about good racing in Cheltenham going to 5 days, and you have fucking yak racing at Galway for 7 days.
You don't have to go all week. I went 1 day and had a great time.
Lost a load of money, bladdered drunk.
You were up in a little box all away from all
the You could have gone and stood up there if you wanted to for free. Now, you had to buy champagne. That was the only condition. It was fantastic.
Just say, with Tom and Blogsy. You get in anywhere.
Yeah, Tom and Blogsy. Alex Ryan said Sweden today at Nace. I'm pretty sure he means Denmark, but
Denmark.
Close.
Close, Alex.
Close, like they're beside each other, kind of like they're like there, like. But yeah,
tongue hanging in like that.
I know what the story with Baaeed. The way they name horses, they're going to naming them countries now. Luxembourg, Denmark, and Egypt, and so on. He is good though. Yeah,
about 600 horses in training.
He looked like a Derby horse, didn't he? He looked like Hammer. He's
very. I have no idea. He just won at fucking Nace.
He's very gangly, very like a Sire Camelot.
Can you imagine trying to be torture?
John Thompson, you're talking shit, Tom. Racing's all about winners. Hail, hail.
So it's about value, Tom, isn't it?
Well, it is if you want to make money, yeah.
While we're on that, actually, let's
here we go.
Give the listeners a little lesson on value there on your England.
What are you doing?
Your bet on England last night in the Women's European Championship final. And he's still there. Tell the lads how your angle into how England were valued. Now they didn't win the bet, but Tom found value. Go.
I did. I was watching. I was looking at the market to see, who was fancied, and England were 2.46 for the win. And all they'd gone on about in the build-up was the English defenders and the German striker Pop, and how many goals she'd scored over the tournament, how they were going to have to try and contain her if they were going to win the game. And then as soon as that concert was over, whoever that was, it was at Becky Hill or something. I don't know. As soon as that was over, they cut straight to a picture of Pop walking off and said she was out. So I was like, okay, well, that's going to make a massive difference to the price. I went back on and England were 2.4 to win. So I felt there was an angle there that the price should have collapsed a little bit more than just 0.06. So I had a little bet. Cashed out
little bit.
How much? 40%. No, 60% of it after they went 1-0 up, because then they just started giving the ball away. At 1.34. Small €20 loss on the game, but I thought it was a bit of an angle.
See, it's what happens when you start hanging around with Blogsy. These little bets are big bets. Us.
Do you know how much €20? That's 4 points.
That is day and age is 3, Dave. 4
points in Alfie's. 4.80 a point.
It's true. That's true. 4.80 and a packet of bacon fries.
You're thinking of Galway.
Sorry, yeah.
We went out after the races, lads, and then again on Friday too. Alex, is Powers your local? Put it in the comments there as well. And I'd say they thought we were somehow Alex. 3 of us were drinking a pint and a Jameson and ginger ale with lime. like the round was like 3 pints and 3 Jameson ginger ales for 3 of us. I don't know how we got away with it. I don't know how we got home, but it was some night out anyway. I'll tell you that much.
Bad day for you because tomorrow's your first day doing burpees. It's
Oh,
not going to go well.
He not do burpee yet?
No, he's doing them tomorrow.
Oh, God bless you.
Kubo wants to know, Tom, thoughts on the standard of women's football, please.
Oh, God, don't get me started.
I thought it was good. We're not going to go down a route of comparing women to men in everything, are we?
No, it's not comparing women to men. What's the standard like?
Well, I thought it was an enjoyable match. Yeah. But what do you do? Do you compare? Do you compare?
That's the question.
Do you compare what's the Irish boxer?
Conor McGregor.
Katie, what's her name?
Katie Taylor.
Katie
Taylor. Do you compare Katie Taylor to Tyson Fury or Floyd Mayweather? No, you don't.
No, Katie Taylor is an unbelievable boxer. She has the skills. Women's football is.
Kubo said the word you're looking for, Tom, is honking.
Women's football.
That's Scottish.
No. He didn't ask about Scottish football. He asked about women's football. I'd like to see that women's team take on a Scottish team now and see how they got on, to be honest.
Well, who was it? The Australian women's team, someone correct me if I'm wrong now, famously came out and said, if you think the men are better for us, play us. The Australian Association put the under 15 teams against them, and the under 15 boys team beat them 7-0.
Why are we comparing men against women, though? We don't. Just take it for what it is. It was a really good tournament. The amount of girls in the stadium cheering them on.
Is not worth it.
90,000 people at Wembley.
Not worth it.
The comments are great here because Putty hit back same as Scottish football, Kubo, and Kubo said, "Eat my ass right now."
Inside joke.
Take it for what it is, lads. It's really good for women in sport. I thought it was fantastic. It was a really good event.
It was the US team.
Yeah, so yesterday there was nothing to watch. No sport.
No.
It was hard.
Like
it's a bank holiday here, and it was hard.
It
was hard to get through Sunday yesterday. No.
Fair play for putting on good spec, good tournament, whatever. I don't think it's going to do what they hoped it was going to do. Fill stadiums for the WSL and everything like that. I don't think they're at that level yet.
I was so bored yesterday. I walked to Alfie's, had 5 pints, and came back home again.
Wow.
It's a case of, though, giving young girls people role models to go and look at and say, "Wow, I could do that." You know, as they said, like some people were putting up and they wouldn't let us play football in PE. I can't remember that in school. There'd be loads of girls who wanted to play football and they wouldn't be allowed to play with the boys. Like, you know,
half of them were better than.
Yeah, I know. A few of the girls were better than us in school, and they wouldn't have been allowed to play. But no, it was really good. And the thing with me was seeing all the young girls in the stadium, like they're their heroes now, and I thought that was great.
Which one?
Cool voice.
We're not reading that out. We are not reading that out.
I've seen it there. Oh, fantastic.
And we're not getting into the crazy horse comment either. We could be here all night. I watched the documentary on plant-based diets the other day, and I tell you, I changed my mind about it.
Yeah, he's right. He's right, though. They shouldn't be allowed anywhere near it.
Cuba, for fun.
They shouldn't.
I heard they've been banned from the rugby and all that.
Swimming, it shouldn't be allowed. That's a different podcast altogether.
I watched a bit of the Commonwealth Games.
I watched that this morning myself.
It's a bad sign, though. There's nothing else to watch. You have to watch swimming.
Yeah, and the weightlifting. How much weightlifting?
Yeah, no.
The man thought he won it. He had the winning weight up. I literally went, "Oh shit!" Fell in the back.
You know, like that is shite as well. Lifting a piece of iron up in the air.
Says the fella.
Some of the sports, like, and it's not to be disrespectful to someone that's really good.
When you say that, you're going to be disrespectful.
That's really good at swimming, but it's like, isn't it though? Like, it's not great.
It's quite hard. When you see some of the qualifying today when they were doing it, and the world champion was there touching the wall, the rest of them were down there touching the other wall, waiting to come back up.
Swimming is like Baaeed. Just doesn't do it.
What does it for you? Unless you extend, it's just totally.
Cricket's another one. Tom probably likes cricket because he's English, but it's terrible. Like.
T20 cricket, I don't mind.
No, it's still terrible.
It's like fancy rounders. They just go to whack the ball the whole time.
It's Terrible.
And you can go there and drink and get drunk.
I'm
very
sure
quickly.
English people then would watch Gaelic football, and Gaelic football is not great, to be honest. And they'd be
It's
like,
saying
"This
though,
is terrible."
it's the way it's all marketed. Take this for instance. Darts. If there wasn't a crowd there and there wasn't all the singing and it was just two lads
and the
throwing at a
drinking.
dartboard and the drinking,
Yeah.
darts would be useless. Darts would be
Yeah,
terrible
like
to watch.
snooker. Snooker's another one. It's terribly
I
boring.
used to like snooker, now I'm gone totally off it.
Terribly boring. Shinty is crap. Kubo, you're the ones who play Shinty. We don't.
Not shinty.
It's
No,
like,
but that's like
Scottish hurling.
hockey and hurling
It's
online.
like Scottish hurling. It's terrible.
Scotland trying to rob our ideas.
Tom, anything going on for the week before we head off here?
Yeah, the example I was looking to give, and I'm gonna get it here now.
Before you do that, 2 seconds. Gavin Lynch is on the show this Wednesday. So if you have any questions you want to ask Gavin, let us know. Whoa.
Are you leading the show or am I?
I thought you forgot about it. So I told you to say it at the start of the goddamn show. You didn't say it.
I was giving Tom his 2 minutes of fame, and then I was going to give you your 3 minutes of fame.
I get 3 minutes. Yeah.
Tom,
Sorry.
fire away, please.
Yeah, no, the thing about comparing women and men and sports and why you just can't do it is the 400 meters hurdles at the World Champions recently. Sydney McLaughlin, I think she's broken her world record 4 times in the last couple of years.
She broke her hurdle in the qualifiers.
She's absolutely unbelievable. Like, absolutely unbelievable. She's miles ahead of everyone, and she puts up fantastic performances. So her world record is 50.68 seconds, right? So the men's world record is 45.94. So basically 5 seconds ahead. So you could say, well, she's shit because she's 5 seconds behind. But she's not. She's absolutely unbelievable because what she's doing in her gender is way ahead of anybody else. And that's what the women's football team did. They went and beat Germany in a final yesterday. So what they did
what I say to that, it's look, the women they're obviously unbelievable players. It's the visual aspect where you're looking at, you're obviously going to compare it to the men where some of the things that look very simple, not simple, but simple to professionals, it kind of makes it look harder. And you think in your head, just turn. My God, just turn.
But at the same time, those 2 finishes last night, the German finish and the English finish.
That dink was unbelievable.
Unreal. If a man did that, you'd be talking about it for the next 10 years in a Euros final.
Tom went in a roundabout way of saying women are not as good as men there. So that's basically what you were trying to say.
And he said in their gender, so you kind of in their gender as well.
It's just science. Like men are stronger and so on and so forth. It's science.
That's a fact.
Yeah, they're just going to run.
But it doesn't make.
I don't care.
It doesn't make women's sport less enjoyable. I don't think anyway. When there's exceptional performances like Sydney McLaughlin in the 400 meter hurdles,
she is very good. That woman Tom was talking about. She's very.
Did she break the world record again?
Her
own world record.
25 times.
Her own record. It's insane.
Again this year, she took 2 seconds off it, didn't she?
Crazy.
She'd have finished like 6th in the 400 meters final without the hurdles. It's insane.
That's fast.
On Wednesday, Gavin Lynch will be joining us for a special show. We're going to have a game of golf with Gavin, and then Gavin's going to come on, and Andrew's going to explain more. But the racing is not fantastic the weekend. There's some decent racing at the Curragh. There's a 2-year-old Group 1, but other than that, the Sugar Cup is on, and we do not talk about the Sugar Cup because it's absolute shite. If you're having a bet, best of luck. But we'll be doing kind of Cheltenham stuff on Wednesday. Gavin will be here, and Andrew now has his 3 minutes of fame.
I don't need 3 minutes now. As Dave said, Gavin will be here. He'll be taking all your questions, so get him in, be it Cheltenham related, jump racing related, how he finds his angles and whatever. Get him in. We'll put them all to him. Be just a general chat about everything, jumps racing, and what's planned for the season ahead.
Are we going live?
I don't know. It'll be, if we're going live, it'll be done late, as in the announcement obviously doing live. It'll all depend on what time we're finished golf and back here and finished dinner and whatever.
Okay.
Should have a chat with Gavin about value and maybe the just back winners line and stuff. See Gavin's opinion on that. I'd be interested.
He actually rang me and Andrew when we were playing golf the last day in Williamstown, and he said he wanted to come on to try and teach you how to be a better gambler.
I'm looking forward to it.
Punter, not gambler. Punter. He wants you to be a client of his. He wants to teach you.
Ooh.
Me.
Yeah, you. Okay. Yep.
Are you sure he said me now, Dave, and not you?
No, you.
No, he's not to be very.
Tom, he knows I don't back ostrich racing and French fucking kart racing, so it was definitely you.
Trotting,
correct.
Trotting.
I forgot what I was going to say. Leave your questions in the comments below, or send them in on Twitter to the finishing line, or anybody that's in text group, send them in there, and we'll try and get as many done as we can. It's probably going to be an hour or so, is it?
Yeah, it'll be an hour-ish. Give or take.
Andrew will let you all know if we're going live or not then on Wednesday, but it's going to be a good one. Some Cheltenham questions and some angles, and teaching Tom how to be a better punter.
Now, I'm just getting this in. I'm playing football on Wednesday, so it depends what time you do this. If I'm on, I have not run away from this conversation.
He's dodged it already.
I'm just saying, in case I'm not on and everyone thinks I ran. No, I didn't.
Dude, he's doing it, Tom.
Tom has already put his angle in for Wednesday.
Dave, you said anything coming up. Cool Arcade at Wexford on Friday, and maybe Barron Wild on Saturday. We'll have a look and entries tomorrow, I think so.
I'm still waiting for you to caddy for me as well.
Is this the reason you've been losing?
Yeah, maybe a Saturday morning or something. Some of us have full-time jobs that we have to do in the week.
In Galway all week last week. Fucking up the same week before.
He's probably going on his holidays next week again.
He is. He's going to England or somewhere.
See?
No, I'm not.
You're going away again. You said you are because you're going to miss training or something.
No, I'm not going away until September. I'm going away for a few little days in September.
Next month then.
On that note, Tom and his full-time job that brings him to Galway, Spain, Bali, Denmark, Egypt, and Wexford.
Even into Waterford every now and then.
See you Wednesday.
I gotta do this now. Keep talking.
I can't. Tom has me mind bamboo.